So if you're wondering where Deltarune Chapter 2 is, so am I, but I'll explain that later. But to make up for me not doing Chapter 2, I decided to start doing spooky videos again, and today we're going to start with something mildly fall-y. Pumpkin spice apple cider. Believe it or not, this is actually the first time I've had a pumpkin spice anything, because I was always afraid it'd like go up my nose and then screw up my lungs like the cinnamon challenge. But everyone on YouTube is always talking about how good pumpkin spice is in their milk, in their pizza, in their gummy candy, I don't know. Everyone's trying these crazy things with pumpkin spice, including the corporations, so I figured get in line with some of the apple cider stuff. Thanks, Mom. It smells like pumpkin pie and apple juice, which in my nose sounds weird, but maybe my mouth has a different opinion. Let's find out. Yep. It's weirder than I expected. Like, I've had apple cider before. I'm no stranger to it. It's like apple juice without the weird watery sugariness. But then you add the pumpkin spice to it. It's like, I mean, it's good. I'll admit, it's got a good flavor to it. Like, I love pumpkin pie, and this tastes like a liquefied pumpkin pie. I can barely taste the apples, though. That's what's the thing. It's like, got a little bit of tanginess to it. Is that the apple? But anyway, yeah, pumpkin spice apple cider was not a waste of money. You can try it cold or warm. I tried it cold because that's how I like my apple cider. But winter is coming. Game of Thrones reference. Am I cool yet? So you might drink it warm if that's your preference, but I wouldn't know what that tastes like. Yeah. But anyways, okay, this room is uncomfortable as balls. I'm going back to my room now. Okay, back in the room now. And suddenly it's nighttime. Go figure. Anyway, to explain why I will not be doing Deltarune Chapter 2 this month, I think I'll start by explaining the process I took to do Deltarune Chapter 1. Because believe me, it's a process. Let's start with making the video. I played for 3 hours straight in one session. As if I didn't mention it enough times already, I played the whole game in one sitting, and it took me 3 hours. I recorded it off of my gaming PC using the tools that came with the AMD graphics card. Then came the part of editing it. It took me about partway through episode 1 to figure out that the recording was actually out of sync by like 4 frames. Thankfully, it wasn't that big of a deal. I could just correct it, but it was still kind of annoying to figure out when you like already started. So yeah, I think I might switch to a different software for the future. Anyway, I took a period of days to edit the whole thing as if it were one giant episode. And then the final episode turned out to be, I don't know, like almost 2 hours. Maybe a little over 2 hours. So I cut it into chunks. 5 chunks. And that's the 5 episodes you saw. And editing wasn't a problem. I just had to deal with the odd processing error every now and then because my laptop was starting to struggle. But that shouldn't be an issue for rendering, right? Wrong. Because for some reason, despite me rendering the video as a file on the D drive, it still writes to the C drive, which is really bad because my C drive is running out of space, hence why I use the D drive. And when it runs out of space on the C drive, rendering just stops. Which means like I had to make some concessions in order to try and make it fit. Like maybe I could lower the resolution, maybe I could lower the frame rate, but I don't want to do that too often because I don't want to mess with the quality of my work. Episode 1 rendered just fine. Then I rendered episodes 2 and 3 at 30 frames per second. But when I got to episode 4, I noticed I couldn't render it at all, no matter what I set, unless I drastically lowered the settings, which I didn't want to do. So I decided to do something unthinkable. I fired up my gaming PC, installed Vegas Pro on that, transferred my project files over, and started rendering episode 4 there. It worked. Then I figured I could do the same thing for episodes 2 and 3 to get them at their desired presentability. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way at first, because the graphics card was having issues. I started getting graphics timeouts. And I didn't know what it was because this was my first time using the gaming PC to edit. And my graphics card was pretty much a pair of AMD PowerColor 7970s running in Crossfire. So I knew nothing of what was going on, and I had to ask Google for help. They told me just boot the computer in safe mode, get rid of the graphics drivers, and reinstall them. So I did. It was a process in of itself, and I had no idea what I was doing, but after some walkthroughs on YouTube, I figured it out, and I did it. And episode 2 rendered fine. Episode 3 rendered fine. Then I did episode 5. It rendered fine. So I got all 5 videos. They were rendered, they were ready for me to post, and that should be the end of my problems, right? So I just upload all 5 of the videos, spread them out on the schedule, and everything's good, right? 11 herbs and spices of wrong. Because of my limited internet, I could only upload the videos between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. on any given day because that's where they allot an amount of data that does not count toward my main allotment of data for the month. I get 50 gigs of bandwidth in the daytime and 50 gigs of bandwidth during the sleep period. So I could just upload all 5 in one day during 2 a.m. and 8 a.m., right? No. Because each file was 4 gigabytes in size and I use satellite internet, it was really slow. So slow, in fact, that I couldn't even upload half of the video in that time slot. The rest had to be uploaded during the main time. And even then, I had to be interrupted again by YouTube itself, because around the time I started uploading episode 3 in the background, I got an alert that episode 2 got claimed for a song from the game. And considering YouTube's tools couldn't help me get rid of the song and the claim without messing up the video in some oddly spectacular fashion, I had to go back to my gaming PC, load up the episode 2 project, edit, trim, and cut down that segment myself, re-render it, and re-upload it. Which burned even more time, even more data, and even more of my patience. So that's technically 6 videos up for 5 episodes, which used up half of my data plan for the night. That combined with prerequisites that I had to get set up for future videos meant that I ended up using all of my nighttime data and eventually all of my regular data, as you can see in this clip that I took from a previous take of this video. Also, talking about clips I took from previous takes of this video, here's the shocker. Everywhere is spoiling it. What was that? Don't know how that happened. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm not going to do that for chapter 2 this month because I know it's just going to make everything worse. And I'd rather wait until next month when I can have more time to plan ahead and more resources with which to do it all again. That's even considering I want to do chapter 2 in the first place, because I did not play chapter 1 to the best of my capabilities in that 5 episode miniseries. The reason for this is because I already knew what was going to happen in chapter 1. I felt the feels already because I played it live on the PS4. So that led to me not going to all the places I would have normally gone or doing all the things I would have normally done. But now I'm being told by people that have played chapter 1 before that maybe I should have gone back and done certain things or talked to certain characters and pay attention to their interactions because it affects certain things that happen in chapter 2. So, yeah, I feel like an idiot now because I didn't play the game the way certain people didn't want me to play, because I don't know if that's the objectively right way or if that's just some people that are really pretentious about how people enjoy the Deltarune experience. It also makes me really scared to play chapter 2 because Because now I'm being told by an anonymous tipster that there is a pacifist route, as in don't kill anybody. And there's also a route that's like don't kill anybody and fight everybody. So fight everybody, don't kill anybody, just so you can recruit everything to the castle town. So I feel like I'm being railroaded by the community. And not only that, like, I'm deliberately avoiding other people's videos and posts about Chapter 2 as well, because I don't want to be spoiled. But then the titles just keep beckoning to me. Noelle is the bad guy. Ralsei's the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. And I'm getting fucking sick of it. Like, please, just stop. Like, I'll play it, okay? Just not now. All I want to do for the rest of the month is make some content that I want to make again. But don't worry, I'll find some spooks to throw in for Halloween, because it is about that time of year still. But anyways, regardless of how you took the things I ranted to you, I hope you enjoyed watching the Deltarune Chapter 1 episodes, and I hope you look forward to the Chapter 2 episodes when and if I do them. And I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.